我一说咱的造车技术落
Some people just can't handle the truth. Whenever I say our car-making technology is 30 to 50 years behind the West, people lose their minds in the comments section and start arguing with me. But just think about it for a second. Use your common sense. Back in the 1870s, during the Qing dynasty, the West was already entering the second industrial revolution. They were stepping into the electrical age, and while people here were still wearing traditional pigtails, they were already building electric vehicles, and now you think you can just overtake them, become years ahead, and leave them in the dust in just 3 to 5 years. How is that even possible? When they were researching automotive tech, our industry wasn't even a seed in the ground. Never underestimate Japanese automakers just because of some superficial sales numbers. People keep screaming about overtaking on the curve, but let me tell you the truth about industrial engineering. There is no such thing as overtaking on the curve. If you try that with real hardcore technology, you will be thrown right out of the lane. You won't even see their taillights. You'll be completely lost. Every single technology people claim we're using to overtake is just stuff others played with and left behind. All this talk about being miles ahead or disrupting the industry, what is it actually doing besides putting pressure on you? Let's have a heart-to-heart today. You might not understand domestic manufacturing, but don't you understand how marketing works around here? Ordinary folks need to stop keeping their heads in the sand and only listening to the hype. These companies have mastered the art of bragging while making you foot the bill. They know exactly how to empty the last dime out of your pocket. Honestly, what is the actual difference between a new electric vehicle worth tens of thousands of dollars and the cheap electric three-wheeler used by the village neighbor down the street? You tell me. Let's talk about it in the comments. Mark my words, putting a fridge, a color TV, and a big sofa inside a vehicle is not automotive technology. Real car-making tech is light years.
Whenever the global media hypes up China's electric vehicle boom, terms like industry disruptors and overtaking on the curve are thrown around constantly. But if you strip away the aggressive marketing and look at the cold, hard reality of industrial manufacturing, a glaring truth emerges. China's new energy vehicle sector lacks genuine, foundational tech. Much of its current success is built on marketing hyperbole and massive capital injections. In the world of real engineering, there is no such thing as overtaking on the curve. When Western and Japanese giants were pioneering automotive engineering and mastering the transition to the electrical era over a century ago, the foundation of modern manufacturing was laid. A historical tech gap spanning generations cannot simply be erased by a 5-year tech startup spending billions on viral marketing. So, what is actually propping up China's NEV hype? Features mistaken for technology. The industry has shifted its focus from core automotive engineering to what critics call the fridge, color TV, and big sofa meta. Jamming consumer electronics and luxury seating into a cabin is not breakthrough automotive technology. If you strip away these entertainment gimmicks, many of these vehicles offer little fundamental improvement in raw mechanical transit over basic neighborhood electric vehicles. Low entry barriers and overnight conversions. A quick look at the origins of these prominent NEV players reveals a telling pattern. They are either legacy automakers that were on the brink of bankruptcy in the internal combustion engine ICE era, or smartphone and home appliance manufacturers. If building a truly world-class automobile required deep, highly precise engineering heritage, how are tech outsiders transitioning into car companies overnight? The narrative itself is inherently contradictory. The shadow of legacy giants. When it comes to absolute engineering prowess, a massive gap remains between these new players and pioneers like Tesla, with many tracking and adopting technologies only after they've been validated elsewhere. Furthermore, none of them are equipped to challenge a powerhouse like Toyota in true industrial endurance. Toyota owns Aisin, a global giant in transmissions, and Denso, a premier automotive component supplier. Their hybrid systems and mechanical components represent a level of manufacturing precision that cannot simply be replicated overnight, even if the blueprints were handed over today. The current NEV landscape is riding a massive wave of capital and hype, pushing consumers into high-end purchases through sheer marketing force. While the shift toward electrification is a valid direction, an industry driven predominantly by tech firms and appliance makers rather than automotive engineers is sitting on a fragile foundation. Winning the social media war is easy. Surviving the realities of long-term global manufacturing is another story. When the massive tide of capital finally recedes, we will see who has been swimming naked.